This.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of A Dash of Salt. Today, to my right, as always, we have DweltCoffee. Thank you
Good
for being
evening,
here.
everybody. No worries. Thank you for having me. Really excited to have a good chat with you.
Yes, this is awesome. You know, the I have a probably like 4 or 5 streamers. I like tune in to every single one of their streams when I can. We always have
Yeah.
those main streamers who try and see, and you're definitely up there for one of those main streamers that try. You're like my uh, after stream chill vibe to watch. It's the perfect chill vibe.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I think it's similar to you're one of my two that I try to get to because I think you obviously sometimes stream a lot later than me. So depending what time I've streamed, either you or one other guy that I'll get in their stream after I've wrapped up just to relax in. So yeah, no, it's lovely to have met you.
Nice. So for everyone who's new here or haven't checked it out before, um, we sit down with other Twitch streamers, content creators, and such, ask them about their journey into their Twitch universe and how they got started and where they are now. Not just Twitch, but life as well in general. But so if there's any questions you want to ask, we always take questions at the very end, but you can go ahead and type them in chat, and I will go back through them and read them there as well. But we will have a segment at the end that we do open questions. So to start everything off, Joel, how about you introduce yourself?
Yes, well, hello everybody. I am DweltCoffee. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, as well as a by day personal trainer, and by night bar supervisor. So busy old life I lead. Currently, I'm just started Ark on Twitch, and still play like Skyrim, Mario, all that kind of fun stuff.
Nice.
I'm also a drummer as well, in case you couldn't tell.
It's just props. He actually doesn't play at all.
Yeah, just really expensive props.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what kind of games do you like to stream? I heard Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. So because of the amount that I currently work, everything I stream is games that I'm playing. So the games that I'm streaming is the games that I play all the time. So Mario recently has been with the 3D All Stars, been slowly working my way through that. It's currently on Sunshine. Skyrim is always a go-to for me for the past nearly 11 years now. It's been out,
Right?
10 years. However long it's been, that's been my always
Every
go-to
edition that they
game.
drop.
Oh, I bought it. I've got a Switch. I bought it on the Switch. Barely played it on the Switch
Yep.
just because they released it. So I never complain about them re-releasing it because I know that I'm the guy who's buying it, so I can't do that. So that's been like the game that kind of got me into gaming. I played Halo when I was younger because I had an Xbox as my first console, but when I properly got to gaming was Skyrim. But I've also done stuff like Zelda. What else have I done? Yeah, not been that many. Cause I've not that amazing. I've been going
Not
that
giving
long.
credit to your Stardew.
Stardew. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Stardew with one of my friends as well. Yeah, they're always interesting because we have quite a good. And that is someone that I met through Twitch. Well, kind of through Twitch anyway. We've known each other for about 3 months now. I think something like 3-4 months. But we're like properly friends now. So it's amazing how quickly you can build
Yes.
a friendship and relationship with people.
It
Even
really
yourself.
is. It really is. Like really all the people that hop into my chat or anyone that watches my streams are people that I've met through other streams or other people, and some people we just connected and made a bond. I have some people that I met through Twitch. They're now my moderators, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it is amazing how easy it is to build a community with some people because everyone here is looking for the same thing. There's obviously a few people that get in just looking to cause trouble for that. But thankfully, you've got the nice community in there already with good mods. They can bat those people straight out of the chat, and you can keep your kind of community spirit and welcome more people. Like you've come into mine, I've kind of tried to come into yours as much as possible. But yeah, just I'm in many different communities now, and just every single one of them is absolutely a pleasure.
Well,
to hang out in.
I always appreciate you hopping in. I know there's a huge time difference between us. A solid 6 hours.
It's only like 5-6 hours. It's never, like I say, it's never a problem for me because a lot of the people that I watch after my stream are clearly American streamers. So I'll either stay in there, chat for a few hours, depending on what I've got planned the next day, or I'll stay in for like half an hour, and then just lurk while I sleep. The amount of times I've actually woken up and I've lurked in someone's stream and then woken up for work the next day if I'm on the early and they're still going. I was like, morning. They're like, oh, morning, Dwell. I was
It's
just
so
asleep
crazy.
because I said goodnight to them and then they're still streaming. So it is really weird the kind of time differences because I've got people from, I was in someone's stream. I wasn't streaming myself earlier, but I was in someone's stream from China because they were
Oh
in the
wow.
evening. So they were playing Among Us in the evening. I was playing with them and also I had work. And then now I'm in your stream in the evening. But if I streamed tonight, it would have been streaming in their time night, streaming at my time night, and at yours for your time night. So it is amazing the kind of people you can meet and from all over the world. It's
Cross world.
really. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
It is. So, what got you into streaming in the first place? I know you haven't been doing it for too long either. So, my little journeys, it seems so much different than everyone else's, and I love hearing their stories and how they got started.
Yeah. So I knew this question was coming. So I tried to remember back to the specific point where I thought, let's try this. But so I've been on Twitch before, and I kind of fell out of it because of when just of a life took over. So I just kind of stopped watching people on Twitch. And then obviously the lockdowns happened here in the UK. We were put back into lockdown in start of December-ish. Around that time, we were basically told we couldn't do anything. And that was the third time that we'd put back into a lockdown, which was very hard. So I thought, you know what, I've got loads of free time. I've been furloughed. Let's just start watching people on Twitch and try and have like these conversations with people and create and just get in with a community. And I started watching a woman called Foxy Socks, who I watch still regularly to this day, and I'm quite good friends with now at this point. And it just kind of got me thinking, well, maybe I could do something like this. It seems like a good way for me to spend my time. It's something productive, creative, which is all the kind of things that I like. So I started to see how I needed to be able to stream. So I started looking at the equipment that I'd need. So I started to slowly accumulate things. And initially I started just streaming because during the lockdown, obviously I work at a gym, we were still able to go use the gym. So I just went down to the gym
Nice.
with my laptop, with my webcam, and I just streamed myself working out, chatting with whoever came in, and just kind of building up that kind of ability to be able to just talk and not have necessarily anyone respond to you.
Yeah.
So I just started doing that and really enjoyed it. It's like, all right, let's take this next step forward. We need to find a space that I can do it in where I can be as loud as I want without irritating the family or anything like that. So thankfully, I've got this space in our cellar that I've been able to convert. And yeah, it just kind of came from all those things where just boredom, little bit of kind of, I wouldn't say full depression, but it's kind of that kind of mindset where I didn't really feel like I had much to do with my time. So I kind of felt quite down a lot. So I thought, let's try and find something to stop this kind of spiral. So one thing I don't want to do is get completely bored and then just completely flat and nothing to do each day. So it was a kind of a mixture of all those kind of things, really.
Yeah, when COVID hit and like everyone just kind of got in their lockdown, it's like at first it's one of those things, not like a ha thing, but everyone's kind of going through it together. So you see it on social media and everyone's kind of giving their 2 cents about it. But then the loneliness kind of hits in a little bit. So I think for me, that's when I really started reaching out, especially since like I moved to the middle of the country away, thousands of miles away from my friends. So like family too. So there was nobody around that I could just, oh, hey man, can I come over for a bit?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, in fact, to be fair, we were very lucky here in the UK. I know it's not the same for everyone, and obviously some people struggle. I actually managed the first lockdown quite well. So we had a fantastic summer last year. It was really hot pretty much every day. So we were able to, and thankfully I've got a garden. We were able to go outside, sit outside every morning. Me and my sister who came back from university, we built ourselves this kind of small gym area where we could do like calisthenics and body weight exercise, all that kind of stuff, because we didn't have that many weights. So we would wake up in the morning, come downstairs to the cellar where we built our gym. We would do loads of training, and then we would go upstairs, sit in the garden, have breakfast. So the first one was okay. And then we got released in July to kind of be allowed to go see people again, go around people's houses, and that lasted for a good couple of months. And then we got put into a month lockdown released, and then put back into like a 6-month lockdown. So yeah, I think it was the kind of backwards and forwards and not being able to see people, being able to see people,
Yeah.
and then also the weather. This last lockdown that we had being so bad, like just winter weather, so it was just
Mm-hmm.
cold, gloomy, not very nice. Just made it that little bit worse. But
I think
yeah,
for,
we seem to come out of it now.
I think for me, I started around, well, originally I started on a different channel, not
Mm.
this one in particular. And I started around December, and I think it was the cold weather and just being in lockdown that I was like, I need to start streaming. I'm gonna do something,
Yeah,
really just talk to people. But now that everything's kind of opening back up, it's summertime, weather's really nice, people want to get out. Have you noticed, like, not just your numbers, but hopping into other people's chats, like the same people aren't really there every day like they once were. Oops.
yeah, 100%.
Oops.
And I mean, for me, I say I try not to. I try not to look at the numbers as much. I think I heard, was it Kern you had on yesterday?
Yes, yes, yes.
I heard like a part of your guys' conversation where you kind of say like you don't want to look at the numbers too much because I mean, for me at least, this isn't something I'm looking to make a career out of.
Exactly.
It's something that I'm just enjoying doing. I've met really great people from doing it, but it's not going to ever be my priority. Obviously, I've got my personal training. That's my go-to career job. That's what I want to do. And then obviously, I've still got real friends, so I've got to try and now find. Because I still want to keep streaming, I've got to find time to actually stream. But then that free time that I have, I need to also. I want to go and see them as well. So it is. If I'm having that kind of mindset, there's going to be loads of other people having that. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah, I have noticed the numbers drop down, but it happens. It's not. And also, I've been streaming for 3 months. So I've kind of had the spike of viewers. Then I had made affiliate to get another little push because like people go, "Oh, this guy just made affiliate. Congratulations!" So some people come in
Yeah.
and say
Yep.
hello from X channel and Y channel and whatnot. So and then you just kind of have that natural decline of viewers, and then you'll kind of I'm assuming and hoping it'll go back up a bit and then plateau
Mm-hmm.
again at some point, and then I say it's not about getting vast amounts of numbers of
Yeah.
viewers or making money from it. Like same with you, anything that I make from this has all gone straight back into
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah. I
Because
don't. I don't try and focus too much on numbers. I just try and focus on the content. I'm hyper realistic though. I can see everything that's happening in the world and everything that's going on. And like,
yeah,
if it was just happening to me or just happening to some one person, then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, something's weird here. But you see it across all platforms. You know what I mean? I see people who used to post on Twitter and Facebook every day who don't anymore because they're actually working and they're doing stuff now. So.
yeah. Well, I know you said that you wanted to know about the experience from people in the UK. Obviously, in the UK, we had a really generous furlough scheme from the government where basically they would pay if you were made furloughed from your company, they would pay 80% of your salary.
That's amazing.
So a lot of companies then went, okay, well, we can't afford to pay our employees at the moment because we're not making any money.
Yep.
So we'll furlough them. Put government pays 80%. So a lot of people got furloughed, but now obviously, like even with myself, I've gone back to work. You don't have like all the daytime. So before I went to work at all, I was streaming once in the afternoon, once in the evening, most days because I had the time to do that. Yeah, because people are going back to jobs, they haven't got the time for all that, being able to watch or stream themselves. So, yeah, the amount of time that you can watch some people stream is reduced. So you be more selective with who you
Yeah.
watch. You might jump from streamer to streamer, night to night, rather than watch them all the time. So,
I might be the one. I know other people are like this, but I'm kind of that weirdo that has like 5 people up at once, and I'm hopping in when I can to certain things
yeah,
and saying hi to
no,
people and everything.
I'm the same. When I can, I try to watch as many people as possible. But
I
I try
just
to
try and
focus
support.
on one person. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
So, how you mentioned like you have 2 jobs. How has it been trying to juggle 2 jobs? I can't even imagine just one job, 2 jobs, and then
Yeah.
I see you stream twice a day at times.
Yeah, so obviously I streamed twice yesterday. It really depends on shifts. So most days I work, most weeks even, I'll probably work 6 to 7 days a week. But because of the kind of jobs that I have, the hours they're a bit odd. So I couldn't, like, for instance, I could stream like a 2 till 5 if I'm working a late shift at the pub. But if I'm looking like a shift at the gym in the morning and then pub in the evening, there's just no way I'm going to stream. But I say I've grown up not having to worry too much about sleep because I've always worked in hospitality, so it's always kind of been I'll get 5 hours here, 4 hours there. So sleep wise, it's fine. So when I get home, like even tonight, it's get home, quickly get changed into something more comfortable, get downstairs into the cellar, get my laptop plugged in, webcam on, get my game set up, hit going live, send out the tweets. So it's literally just as soon as I can get downstairs, the better. But it has kind of taken up some of my life, to be fair.
Do you ever like have that? Because it gets hard sometimes. Like there have been days where I didn't want to press the go live button. Have you ever been there ready to go and like didn't press it? And you're like, oh, you know what? Not tonight.
I'm not sure because I think for me because if I'm especially at the moment when I'm going live, most of the time I'm in this kind of different mindset where I'm trying to I'm racing around. So I've got to race back, get back from work, then I've got to get changed, get downstairs. Like I say, I don't have any time to think about it. So then as soon as I'm hitting go live, I've not had time to process the fact, do I want to do this? It's just I'm doing this now. So there's there's nothing else to do about it. So I've not had one of those moments yet. I've had a few days where I've kind of been like, is this something I enjoy doing still? But then I'll have like the next stream I've been looking at, the next stream I'll have like a really good one, some good chat, or just I really enjoy playing the game, and I'm fine again. So at the moment, no. If things quiet down again with work, and then I have time to think about it, sometimes I might go, oh, you know what? I just want to go to bed. It's 12 o'clock already. Let's just leave it. So I have a decent night's sleep. But I say most nights I don't get to sleep till 2-3 a.m. because I don't have to be at work.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I don't have to be at work till like 2, potentially 2
And
or
that's
4
fine.
p.m. the next day. So that's the way I kind of look at it. People go, well, why are you up so late? I think, well, if I get home at 11 on any given night, what time would you go to bed if you got home
True.
at say 5? You wouldn't go to bed till 9-10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having those 4 hours just much later than you do. But I still need those 4 hours to relax, just be myself, and then go to bed.
I worked a third shift job, like my first job out of high school, which was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So, I'm getting off work at 6 a.m. I don't get home till 6:30. So not showering, relaxing 7. It's like, oh, I guess I'm going to stay up for a few hours. I'm usually not going to bed till 10 a.m.,
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry. No. This is all about you.
I was just going to say, yeah, when you work those hours, most people who work normal don't kind of understand the way that you
That's true.
live your life. They're a bit confused by things like when you do things at certain times, but it's just we need people who work those kind of hours need to have a life themselves. So we have to sleep and do things when works best for us.
So you mentioned just being able I'm almost like jealous of your mindset of just being able to go live like that. What is something that you do to stay fresh on being able to keep playing a game? Like, because it's hard for me to just play a game, over and over again, even though I enjoy it, but I feel like are viewers getting burnt out on it, or am I getting burnt out on it? What's something that you've felt like has kept you going on things?
I mean, yeah, I completely understand like the same mindset you have, where you think, are people bored of this all this game that I play? Like I thought that a lot with Skyrim, because Skyrim's been my go-to game. I've definitely kind of thought, oh, are people getting bored of me playing this game because it's an 11-year-old game? People have seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me to be able to keep playing these games, it just kind of. Sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
What do you do to like stay fresh with something? How do you like make sure that you're don't get bored of a certain game, or you don't feel like burnt out on something, or that your chat doesn't feel burnt out on something? Like for me, like I tried playing Fallout, for example, and I was playing Fallout 4 for a while, and I'd already played it so many times, but I never played with mods. So I felt like mods was a good way to spice Fallout 4 up a little bit, and for myself.
Yeah, that's tends to be what with going back to Skyrim. That's tends to be what I do with Skyrim. I'll keep downloading a different mod, so a quest mod or something like that, because obviously I've completed the game already. But in terms of other games I don't play too long. To be fair, I try to only play one game a night, one game each week. So, like for instance, if I play Skyrim on a Monday, I won't play that again that week.
Oh, okay.
So I never get too burnt out on
I
that
don't
one
think I've
game.
ever noticed that before.
It's been more recently that I thought that, because I did get to that point where I was getting bored of playing Skyrim.
Okay.
And it does, like, even before I started streaming, I would play Skyrim for maybe 2 or 3 months, like just non-stop, play it for 2 or 3 months, and then I'd get bored of it, and then I wouldn't touch it again for another year, and then I'd come back to it the next year, and I'd start playing it again. And I didn't want that to happen, because obviously my Skyrim streams have been my most popular one, so I just had to say to myself, all right, limit yourself to one Skyrim stream a week, and then let's start mixing up the games that you play. So I've started playing a game called Spiritfarer recently, which I've really enjoyed. And
Aesthetically, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game, and I think it suits the way I stream quite well as well, with it being relaxed and laid back and chill. And then I can because it's all, there's no voice acting. I can read out, and I enjoy doing that kind of the voices and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just finding games that just stimulate me and new, that I haven't seen anyone else play. So as long as I can keep finding those games, like I played one called Serial Cleaner. I don't know if you saw me play that one.
Yes. That
Yeah,
seemed
so
pretty fun.
it was really fun. A bit infuriating at times, but in the good way. Like, damn it, because like if you get one more body you need to move and take out, and then you get caught, you've got to go all the way back to the start. So
Yeah.
it can be a bit infuriating. But yeah, I think indie games are the way to go forward for when I'm struggling to play, and just find something new and exciting. Like, oh my god, this is amazing! And I can share this with people. So a lot of people in my community said, I've never heard of Spiritfarer. I'm like, oh, you're gonna love it. I've been like, the trailer looks amazing. So I'm getting to share that kind of the feeling I get with them at the same time with other people. So
no, that's awesome.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. No, I think switching things up like that definitely helps. Like I'm trying to do that as well. I think something that you do that has been great, that I've really been impressed by, is your engagement with your Discord, and how you've been able to get chatters or followers to engage in Discord, and you have your polls. Do you want to go over your Discord a little bit? Because I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing there.
Yeah, we can do. I mean, when I started streaming, I set up a Discord just because it seemed everyone who streamed had a Discord.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really sure what to do with it. Before I started streaming, I'm not at all familiar with this Twitch and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's so many things that people say in stream still that I'm kind of like, what on earth does that mean? I don't get the reference. I don't get what, like, I only recently know what POG meant. I only recently know what that meant. That's how bad I am on that. So I just set it up, and then as I started to grow, I was like, I've got like a few ideas of how I can kind of like build a community, but also I used to work in marketing, and my mind went into like building a brand. That's what my mind switched to. I was like, so how can I go from where I am now to build the brand of DweltCoffee? I was like, well, I can start up building Discord properly. I can make all of my graphics consistent throughout my entire stream and Discord. So I just thought, let's start doing it. And then I kind of built up to the whole polls thing. I can't remember how I did it, because I was just sitting there thinking, how can I make my Discord not a dead Discord server that so many are? Because I joined so many Discord servers that are just dead. Where
it's mine. That's mine.
Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, you're still new, so when you join something that's got like hundreds of people in it and it's got no one really talking in it.
True.
I was like, I don't want that to happen to me. So I was like, all right, how can I kind of build this up properly? So I started asking questions, and I was thought, that's not great, because people don't want to type a reply. People like things that are quick. So I thought, we can use reactions. So I just kind of started building it that way. And it just took off instantly. People just started reacting to it really well. Like, I can't remember, if I go back to the first few polls, the numbers in terms of engagement were fantastic, in terms of people just giving their opinions, because people love giving opinions. That's just a fact. People love to give their opinions on anything. Obviously, I try and make sure that people don't get too aggressive or anything like that, and just respect that people have an opinion.
Yeah,
that's what we want. Like, I always find it interesting to hear people's opinions. That's what I want to hear. So yeah, I just started that, and I'm still trying to figure out new ways because again, I don't want to become stale with the polls. And I've kind of at the start of this week, I felt a bit stale. Then I can't. Then I just had a wave of like I had an idea, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Let's make that a question." And I can. I don't know if you noticed recently, I've started like categorizing all the polls. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
ask a question, but it'll be in a subsection. So it'll be this is what the topic is today, and then the question. So people kind of know what they're getting each week. But yeah, it's. I've been very lucky as well in terms of the people that I have in my Discord and community. That they are all so generous and willing to chat and get involved in topics. So
You're
yeah,
doing a great job there, I will say. Like one of the things I did love there is when you did your tournament or
oh yeah,
bracket of all the superhero movies. You know, I thought
yeah,
that was amazing. Because
yeah. So
some
that
movies just people love, and Kick Ass was on there, and it almost took out some juggernauts.
yeah, it took. Well, it was in the first round against Endgame, and like that, I am going to do that again. But again, I don't want to do that so soon after that because it took up 2 weeks of the
Yeah.
Discord for us to work our way through that. So I'm probably going to do another one either. I'll probably start one next week. I've been thinking of doing, but that just literally came from because I can't remember what I was thinking, but there was a poll that I put out about who's the best Chris, like who is the
Yeah, I
ultimate
remember
Chris
that one.
in
Yep.
Hollywood, and there was loads of answers, and I kind of did it on a Thursday. I asked that question, and there was no definitive answer, so I decided, all right, there's not going to be a definitive answer. So on the Friday, we'll then go, all right, the top three or the top two, whatever it was, made it through. Everyone vote again, and whoever wins will be the ultimate Chris. And then that kind of got me thinking, well, how about I just do an actual full tournament? Because I used to watch, well, I still watch a guy called John Campier on YouTube. He's a film news kind of podcaster, streamer kind of guy. And he used to do a, was it March Madness
Oh yes, yes.
tournament where he would pit, like you get a category and he'd pit pit films against each other from that category, and then they'd end up winning. So it was kind of not stolen. I mean, it's a March Madness kind of tournament; they happen all
Hey,
the
listen,
time.
we're all
And that's
just
where the
borrowing
inspiration came
ideas, you
from.
know.
Yeah, so that's where I kind of thought, let's go for it. Let's do that. And yeah, honestly, I was amazed day by day the amount of response we had to that. So again, fantastic.
No,
That was
that's
first class stuff.
super awesome. I really like how everything you've been doing there, and I'm super excited for more to come in there. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing I've always been impressed with is your setup and how you've done everything with your background. It's very, you know, me. I'm try. For me, I like to try and stay consistent with something. You know what I mean? Like, I love basketball. That's just like I don't try and make it my stream. I'm not like pushing it in people's face. But me personally, if you want to know a lot about me, I love the NBA. So, you know, I've tried to show that love of some jerseys and everything. And you can see your love in just your scene alone. You know, you have your albums and your drum, but you can also see the comics. You know, what made you like come up with the setup that you have?
So when I was obviously looking at getting into streaming, I went through like I scoured YouTube and looked for like tips and tricks on how to kind of build up your stream to a decently professional-ish level. And I just kind of thought, oh, and one of the main things was give it your personality, throw you into it. So I was like, all right, that's fine then. I'll just start picking up things that speak to the things I love. So obviously drum kits, I would like to see music. And then I was very lucky with all of these canvases. I went on Facebook Marketplace and just started looking for posters. And then the canvases came. I was like, oh, the canvases are much better. So I managed to get all those pretty cheap. So I just thought, I just basically built it around the things that I love effectively. So that when people come in and look at my stream, if I'm in like just chatting one which has got the full camera, everyone can see behind me. And then my mindset was, and then when I'm playing my game, I have that kind of really narrow one, so people can just focus on me,
Hmm.
not get distracted by what's behind. Um, but yeah, just to make it look interesting enough, so that when people come in, they go, "Oh, this guy likes comic book movies. Oh, this guy plays the drums." Just so people know the kind of person that I am and what I'm into, and they
Yeah.
might then think, "Oh, we'll hang around," and eventually he might talk about music and films and all that kind of stuff, which I'm looking to start doing now as well. So
That would be if
yeah,
you ever do some music streams, please let me know because I would I'll tune in. I don't know how like your living situation. I don't know how loud you can get, but I would love to hear
Well,
some music
I
streams.
go all out.
Okay, that's awesome.
I
I
can't
will.
obviously win them at night. So I will. The issue with I want to play. I want to be able to stream me playing the drums at some point. The biggest issue with that is I won't be able to do that on Twitch because DMCA strikes. Like
Ah,
it would instantly be like, nah, don't want to do it. But I think on YouTube it's a lot more lenient because obviously they have drum covers, don't they, and all that kind of
yes, they
stuff.
do. Yeah.
What I could do is technically stream on YouTube that, and then I might be able to get away with it because there's always drum covers of songs on
True.
YouTube, so I can't. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll be able to stream.
The dang DMCA. I remember Metallica was doing a stream, and they ended up having to like play silently, and they like viewers had to tune in somewhere else to listen to it because they couldn't upload their audio to Twitch. It was so
Yeah,
weird. This DMCA is
their own
really
music, I assume.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just so funny.
It's really frustrating now. Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems to be getting worse,
Mm-hmm.
which is very frustrating because for me I don't see really any negatives to it for artists and musicians because they're getting paid from Spotify nonetheless.
Yes. Yeah, I'm giving you a
So
view. I'm giving you credit. I'm doing everything. It's not like people aren't hearing your music. It's not like I'm
yeah,
like strictly, no one's tuning into my stream because of the music I'm playing.
no,
I mean, I would hope not, at least.
100%. No, exactly.
So, what was when you first started? Because what was your first setup into streaming? Like me, I said it last stream or last podcast where like I was like an all or nothing guy. And I was like, okay, well, let me get the PC, let me get the capture card, let me get the webcam, let me get all this. I didn't really, and I had some stuff, like I had my mic already and stuff like that. But what
Yeah.
was when you first started, were you the same way? Or you like, oh, okay, I can be minimalistic, or I have stuff laying around that I'm not using right now?
Yeah, I was very much the same. Pretty much the same as you, where I was like, I'm gonna wait until I've got everything, and then I'll hit the go live button. Obviously, as like I said, I did my streams down at the gym when I was working out, but that was fine because it was I think I did it on a different account, so it was just me getting used to all that kind of stuff. But then past that, I was always very much the thought was if I'm going to create anything, I want it to be exactly how I want it to look. So I made sure that I didn't have this mic, I had the smaller Blue Yeti, but I still had had a good mic, had the camera, and I waited for my capture card to arrive. And then I've just slowly built and added to things since then. But most of the stuff I've added to has been stuff that I'm looking at rather than what people are looking at when they see me stream. So I was the same as you. I had to make sure it looked good, and I was happy to put it out there before I hit the go live.
Exactly. What's one thing with the experience we have now, obviously we're not like pros at anything yet, but with the experience we have, I've learned so much. What's something that you would have known in the beginning of everything?
That I would have known.
Yeah, something you wish you would have known when you first started streaming.
Probably not to worry too much about the whole the setup, to be fair. Like, it doesn't make a difference. Like, honestly, it doesn't. To anyone out there who's looking to stream, it really doesn't make a difference how much you spend on your setup at all. I don't regret spending the amount of money that it's not a massive amount of money. But I'm spending the amount of money that I have spent on it. I don't regret spending, but it's like I probably would have been able to build the same community with or without all the canvases and all this stuff behind me, because I hope that people come in to watch me, listen to me, and all
Agreed.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Think I've got something interesting to say. So yeah, definitely that. You don't need to spend monstrous amounts of money to make it on Twitch. It's all about you.
I do
coming
think
for you.
a setup, your background, your whatever. It's not for anyone else. It's more for you. There's people who just do green screens and they're comfortable with that because they don't want to worry. And I'm almost jealous of that. I wish I would have just started with a green screen and I wouldn't have been sitting there every day after stream being like, is my setup not good enough?
Yeah, I know the feeling where you kind of look at it and you go, nah, there's something I want to change here. So that's me. I got OCD and all that kind of stuff. I'm constantly wanting to improve and all that kind of stuff. So never satisfied, which is always a always a hindrance to me.
I think it's a good thing. It's something you always want to improve. I have a thing where I tell myself never stay stagnant. Just don't stay
Yeah,
stagnant. Just always try and improve something. And something
yeah.
that I've actually seen you improving a lot lately is kind of like your branding, your
Okay.
emotes, your Dwelt coffee cup. Can yes, exactly. I love the shirt. Can you kind of explain where all that came from and where the name came from?
So, well, DweltCoffee was a gamer tag that I was just given when I got my first Xbox Live account.
I love
It was
that
like
story.
DweltCoffee, and then followed by just 4 digits, and then I kept it because it sounded quite fun. And I didn't at the time when I had my account, I didn't know I could change my name, so I just
Hmm.
kind of kept it. Because I would have changed it probably to my actual name, but just decided against it. And then when I started streaming, I was like, well, let's just, because again, it's like my brand name was like, oh, I don't want to use my actual name. It's a bit of a weird name. I don't want to use that. So I was like, let's just use the streamer name because it's fun and it's different and it will catch the eye. And then I was like, oh, you can be called Dwelt, and Dwelt's again interesting. It's different.
Hmm.
People don't hear that often. Um, and then in terms of the actual branding, I was lucky enough to meet a graphic designer through someone's stream, and I approached him about, look, I want a logo. I've got like some money to spend that I can afford to spend on and a logo and a few other bits and bobs. And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do something. And he did me the mug. So the main mug that you see and a few of the text and all that kind of, so the actual text on the mug all came from him, and that font that I use all came from him. And then one day I was just playing around. I was on a call to someone. I literally said to her, she's like, "What on earth are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to put my head into a mug." So I was just having a mess around. I don't know why I was doing it. I was trying to put my head into a mug, and it really just escalated from there. And from the next 2 or 3 days, I just created so like all of these. I just let my because I was still on furlough at the time, so I just let my mind go absolutely wild and just started creating things constantly. And yeah, just and I was like, well, these are my emotes now, I guess, because I've been wanting to get some sorted. I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for someone to make some because I'm actually really happy with what I've created, um, and it's me. It's what I can do. It's my personality. So, and it's different. I've not seen many ones that look like
Oh, it's
I've
yeah,
made.
it's definitely different.
So yeah, again, that's what I kind of strive for. Just my stream and everything about what I create to be me. I don't want to have like that kind of nothing against it, but I don't want to have that kind of streamer look. I want to have the dwelt look, as it were. Um, yeah, I absolutely um, love just creating things now. And I think I heard Kern saying yesterday that he uses Canva, and that's what I've been using. And for anyone out there who doesn't have Photoshop or doesn't know how to use it, or doesn't want to learn how to use it, Canva is honestly a fantastic way to stream, and not stream, to create different things. All of my um, all my graphics, so everything I've done on overlays for my streams, all of my emotes, all of my panels, my logo, everything like that, barring the mug and a few other bits that my graphic designer friend made for me, have all come from there.
No, that's
So
amazing.
you can do an awful lot on there. And if anyone does want to learn how to use Canva properly and get a few tips from me, honestly, I'm more than happy for you to reach out. Reach
Awesome.
out, talk to me, let me know what you want to do, and I'll have a call with you anytime, and I'm more than happy to help anyone out.
I might be one of those people actually reaching out.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm just now recently getting into it. I didn't even know of Canva until like a week or two ago.
Yeah,
Photon, I think, is another one that I was trying to get into, and then some
yeah. You'll
Photoshop
be
type deals.
amazed.
Yeah,
You'll be
it's
amazed at the stuff you can do. Like, I don't know if you've followed me. You do follow me on Twitter, don't you? So you might have seen the Fast and Furious picture that I did
I
a few
did.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did that in Canva.
I've been wondering how you seem to be having fun
Yeah.
and all that.
So what I use Canva, and then because again with my kind of OCD, the clipping won't look right. It'll look like you have just literally stuck these faces on. So what I do is I then download onto my phone where I've got this kind of cartoon filter thing that it adds onto it. And when it does that, it more often it can sometimes look, if I get the coloring right on the faces, I can make it look like they're actually just there. and that Fast and Furious one was the best one that I did. I was super proud of when I got that and I hit the cartoon button on my phone. It turned out like, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. It looks
No, I
great.
think that's awesome. Who are I love hearing the communities that people are able to have here on Twitch. Who are some other Twitch streamers that have helped you along the way or that you look up to and have helped your content grow?
So going back to the start, and I'm sure you've heard of him, Berams.
Yep.
He's in my stream quite a bit. He's someone that I met through a mutual friend, and he helped me kind of get started in Twitch. Like he was really helpful in terms of just getting me introduced to certain people, a few tips here and there. And then from there, Foxy Socks, who is a by far better streamer than me and a bigger streamer than me. She's been massively helpful. Like she she's given me some of the biggest raids I've had with like 30 people. And when they come in, it's like, oh my God,
Oh
what do I
man.
do? What on earth do I do with all these people here? All of a sudden, I've gone from like 8 people or so to now 30, 40 people. So it's but it's that's fine. I like that kind of rush of like, all right, let's now go again and be really excitable for this. So she's helped me. Guy called Mike Rhodes as well. But yeah, just there's loads of people that I could thank, and it would feel like a bloody Oscar speech at this point. Even though I'm not celebrating anything. But yeah, like I say, Mr. McBeefsteak, who I think you would have seen in my stream, he's the guy who helps me with a lot of the graphic design. So if I've got something I want to do, I'll send it over to him and like, oh, can you just touch this up for me? And he'll touch up and then send it back. And he does some fantastic artwork as well. And he's actually working on an emote for me for my dog. So he's going to be doing that for me soon. So it's going to be
That's
going
sweet.
to replace the Dwelt Love emote
That's
that I
awesome.
have. So, but yeah, there's all those kind of people, and then obviously you as well.
Awesome. Well, thank
I
you.
mean, I had a raid from you actually not too long ago. Oh, it's quite a while ago now, and I think it was Brad. I think he lost a bet or something with you,
He
and he
did.
came in and gifted sub like 10 people. So I was like, what on earth is happening here then? So yeah, that was massively helpful.
You know, I love gifting. So it's one of my favorite things to do. I don't mind ever gifting. I've said this before. Like, if people need money or whatever, and it's someone that I support and everything like that, if they have like donation goals, but I've never mind gifting money as well. But like, I always feel like gifting subs to people is a great way to not only support them financially if they want it, but like viewership wise too, you know, because they do get that notification at the top of their Twitch, like, oh hey, someone gifted me a sub, you know, and then they click back into your stream, you know, so someone who may have even just stopped by for a second gets gifted a sub now, and then they may become a full-time viewer. So it's just really awesome. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of which,
Yep.
yeah.
Thank
But,
you so much.
like, I 100% agree. It's helped me massively, and there's been one streamer called Petrified Tree Sap, whose stream I was in earlier today. Like
She's amazing.
her gift and sub ability is unparalleled. Like it's absolutely amazing the kind of stuff that she's done and helped with, as well. But congratulations to all the new gifted subbers.
Yes, thank you.
You've got a great channel to come back and watch.
Right. So a couple more questions, and then we'll open the floor to people in chat. So if there's anyone in chat that wants to ask Dwelt here a question, please start getting them ready, and we'll get back to you. But what's your next streaming goal that you have, like for the summer 2021 in general, the future?
So I think, well, for the end of the year, even though I'm not too fussed about numbers, I would love to be able to. I mean, I'm what 160 to followers. I'd love to be able to hit 250 by the end of the year, follower wise. That'd be really great to hit. But just in general, be able to stream consistently. I'd love to be able to have like 3 or 4 days that I know, and I can send to people, this is when I'm streaming, because I really don't like the kind of infrequency of my streaming. I don't like that. Some weeks I'll stream on a Monday, a Wednesday, Friday, and a Sunday, and then next week I might only stream twice, and it might be a Tuesday and a Thursday. Because I know for a fact that I find it easier knowing that even though someone will tell me when they're streaming, if I know that, oh, it's Monday night, I can jump into someone's stream. If I don't know that they're streaming, I might go, oh no, I'm just going to watch something on Netflix or something like that. So definitely to be able to get to a point where I can again stream consistently on given days, just so people know when I'm live. And then maybe get a better mic, not a mic, a better camera, and then also finally, hopefully, finish building my PC.
You've been talking about it.
Which is it is built, it is usable and workable, but I'm just waiting for any kind of decent GPU to become available so
It's
it can
hard.
actually use OBS, because
So
it just does
hard.
not, it can't run OBS at the moment. I got one of the AMDs. It's quite a cheap AMD Ryzen. It has an inbuilt graphics card basically,
Okay,
but
I know.
clearly the
I think
graphics
I know
card
what
is
I'm
not
talking
good
about.
enough to run OBS, because I just go into OBS. And even before I start streaming or anything, if I add anything into a scene, like the encoding lag, not the encoding lag, the one above it, I can't remember what it's called, that goes crazy. It goes absolutely haywire. So it just running at 90% GPU. So to be able to finish building the PC would be a wonderful thing. And then I can actually start, because there's so many things I want to add to my stream, like in terms of animations and like emote things and all this kind of stuff. And I've started to be able to add them to it in a very, I've had to be able to play around with it a lot and add in, like you might have noticed, like when you, for instance, come in and you use your salty commands,
I
like
love your
your,
personal commands, by the way. I think they're awesome.
yeah, they come up and they're now animated and they work somewhat. They're not as much as I'd want them to be, but they can work and all that kind of stuff. So I've been able to add those in, but there's so much more I'd want to add in. Yeah, those personal commands, I absolutely love making them. I've got no issue as well with anyone who has one using it pretty much as they want. If I get a raid from 20 people from whoever, if they want to use it at that point, fine, go for it, spam it. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. I try and drop it when I get into the stream, just to, because I think it's awesome and I think it's really funny. It's salty
Yeah, no,
thing.
it is.
So
Yeah,
I try and do it, but I appreciate it. I might take advantage of it once or
yeah,
twice here in the
do it,
future.
mate. No, it's there to be used. I know some people feel guilty about using that kind of stuff, but for me, again, this isn't about me like insulating my community and just my world. It's about insulating the entire community that I'm in.
Yeah.
Like there's so many streamers in that watch my stream that I want them to also succeed. So like the Berums and the Petrifies and yourself and Astro and whoever else, there's people that I've missed, but whoever else that's in my stream, I want the people that watch me that might not watch them to go and watch them. Go and give them a view. Go and see if you enjoy their content, because most likely will, because you're all fantastic. So.
Right. No, I love all the support. Luckily there's so many great communities that I'm in where there's such genuine people, you being one of them, where they seem to have genuine communities as well that like to support each other. And even if my content isn't what they're really into, they still jump in and, leave some love even before they hop out, just to show that, like, hey, I'm here and I like what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a couple of months ago now, and it must have been like a perfect storm kind of thing. And I was just watching. It was Mr. McBeefsteak stream. I was just watching him, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm chatting with him. I'll put a post out. I've got that streamer spotlight section channel on my stream on my Discord, and I put the link in there saying I'm hanging out, chatting in Beefy's stream. Come along, say hello. And I don't know how many people came, but there was a good amount of people came in, and his stream just went wild after that. His numbers skyrocketed, and people were chatting and having a good time. And I was absolutely, I love my community for that. I absolutely love them for the fact that I could put a post in there just saying I'm chilling out in this stream, and they came along. There was, I think, Petrified Tree Sap came in. She gifted subs, obviously, and
Yeah.
then follows and all that kind of stuff, and channel point rewards going off. And it was really fun. So yeah, whenever I can get that to happen in someone else's stream, that makes me happier than if I get a raid or anything like that. Being able to raise someone else's stream up is better feeling for me than actually my stream succeeding.
That's so awesome, man. I remember obviously I'm in your chat, so I see the people in your chat and everything like that. And I remember streaming one day and looking over and seeing someone's name. I'm like, where have I seen that name before? And it didn't click. It wasn't one of my viewers, you know what I mean? So I was like, but I've seen this before. And then another one popped in, and another one popped in. I'm like, wait, this is Dwelt's community. What are you all doing here? And sure enough, you'd shouted me out in your streamer spotlight. So that's awesome. You do that. I really love that.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that there's like a bot that will like do an at everybody in Discords. that will tell people when they're live, which I will honestly never get because I don't see the point in letting your entire community know when everyone you follow goes live. Because I mean, there's Discord servers that I'm in, and I'll be honest, I completely ignore it now. You just become numb to the idea of the fact, oh, okay, someone's live, great, ignore. They're not playing anything interesting. Whereas if I keep it to one to two, like maybe a post every day or post every other day saying this person's streaming, I'm in their stream. I think it keeps it fresher, so people kind of go, "Oh, okay, it's more of an
Mm-hmm.
occasion. It's a bit more special, other than every time that person goes live, people go and people just either go in or ignore it. And more often than not, I think it's ignore that doesn't get.
Yeah,
So
I've definitely been in Discord communities where I've noticed that, and no hate on those communities that people that
no,
who
not
do
at all.
that and stuff like that. I think it's fine. Some people need it. You know what I mean? With how many
Mm.
they can't just sit there and just shout people out. They kind of need a bot to be able to do that. Me
Yeah, 100%.
personally, like I'll go live in some people's um, discords and promote it and everything like that, but it's only when I stuff that I really want people to see. Other than
Yeah,
that, like, just come in when you can. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
yeah,
really promoting every stream, but stuff like the podcast episodes where I'm really promoting somebody else and I want somebody else to check this person out, I'll hit everybody's Discord that I can, just because
yeah,
I really want that person to get some spotlight. Same thing
yeah,
with your
100%.
streamer spotlight.
Yeah, it's appreciated.
So,
Always.
couple more questions, two more questions before we leave it up to chat. Um,
Yeah.
One is, do you have any goals to go beyond Twitch, or is Twitch like, are you just stay focusing on this for right now? Because I definitely I see other people. I'm just now getting to the YouTube thing, and I'm
Mm.
trying to do it. I'm very bad at it, editing videos, and see
It's
my
very tedious.
you should see my thumbnails. They're awful, but I'm still trying. Um, but it seems like someone who's so new, who hasn't really built a community like that, it seems so tedious to like try and do a TikTok, try and do an Instagram page, try and hit every social, and to just be this massive social media brand. It seems really hard to me with such a small
Mm.
community. Do you have any goals of doing that, or is that something you're not really worried about?
So in terms of other social media, so obviously you say like TikTok, I've got, to be honest, zero interest in ever even getting a TikTok. I don't have a personal TikTok account. I don't have the time for it. I don't want to have the time for it. So I'm not going to bother with TikTok. In terms of everything else, so at the moment I've got obviously my Twitter account, which I'm really active on. I'll post 2 or 3 times a day. I try and limit the amount that I talk about my streaming there. So I'll try and talk about other things. I'll try and promote other people's channels and just do other things rather than constantly saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm going live
Yeah.
today," and then later on, "Oh, here's a link to me being live." Um, so I post like that. I was going back to that the Fast and the Furious picture that I did the other day or last week, whenever it was. I do those regularly, to be honest, in people's, especially in Foxy Stocks and Mike Rhodes' streams, because they stream together normally. So I'll sit when I'm sitting in their stream, if something happens, I'll go, right, I'll make a meme, I'll create some kind of Photoshop work of that, and then I'll post that on my Twitter and tag them in it. So that's the kind of stuff I want to do on my Twitter. I have, like you found, I have created an Instagram for DweltCoffee, but I don't know if I want to have. I don't know if I want to post in there as well as Twitter. So I've kind of just gone to keeping my regular Instagram, my personal Instagram, which more than welcome people to check out, and that's where I'm going to keep doing my kind of workout stuff, my personal life. So if people want to reach out to me about working out, probably the best thing to do would be is on Instagram. But reach out to me wherever if people want any questions answering for anything like that. But I'll keep that separate. But in terms of YouTube, I have been tempted and I have announced, but not been able to do anything with yet, the whole DweltCast thing. So where, like with
Yes.
you, I want to start my own podcast, but it'd be kind of like a movie podcast. So once a week, it'd be most likely on a Sunday. I'd go throughout the week. I'd kind of make notes and write things up about different movie stories that I've heard that week, and then I would talk about it that night on the stream, and hopefully have other people come in and be able to give their opinions on it as well. So it's not just me and my opinions; it's other people. I've had other people mention that they would love to be able to come on and chat and talk about movies with me, which is what I'd love to do. And so I might take that onto YouTube. So I think something like that would work better on YouTube than it would on Twitch. So like stream it live on YouTube and then cut it up into different smaller videos to people. If someone wants to watch a particular topic, they can just watch that one video and then not have to worry about watching the whole thing. But I think, again, that's going to be something that's just done for my pleasure. I don't plan or envisage any of this going beyond getting a good handful of viewers and people watch regularly and enjoy what I'm making. I think that's pretty much where streaming and content creation will lead for me.
Yeah, I always want to preface everything I do with, I mean, I have no grand idea that I'm going to be this famous YouTuber, Twitch streamer, or anything like that. I got a full-time job. I got a family that I got to take care of. You know, like I got too much going on in life to do it. But if I became somewhat successful, like one thing I would do full-time, not saying I would quit my job for it or anything, but one thing I would love to do and why I'm trying to get more into it is podcasting. And I do love interviewing. I always loved that idea of sitting down with other people. Obviously, the Joe Rogans of the world and these people that have made such a brand of themselves from just interviewing other people. Not necessarily that I want to do that, but like I love hearing people's takes and I love hearing the stories, and it's always been so interesting. So this is something that I'm really glad I'm able to do now. Like I said, once again, it's not a get rich fast scheme or anything like that, but you know, it's just true enjoyment, and I like cutting them together and posting it up. And
I think that's the important thing. It's just doing it for enjoyment. I think Kieran said it yesterday. If you're doing this for fame and numbers and money and all that kind of stuff, you'll fall out of love with it because it's not going to make you money. Like you say, people like Kearns and people bigger than me who are on 20 viewers, even people who are partners, don't make enough money from this to be able to make this their career.
Yep.
You've got to purely enjoy it. If you don't do this to enjoy what you're doing, and if you, like he says, if you worry about numbers, if you worry about followers and subs and all that kind of stuff, it's going to make things worse. It's going to actually make it harder to keep creating the content for people to watch. And then at that point, that's when you'll start to get the decline, because people will be able to pick up on the fact you're not passionate and you've not got the energy and you've not got that kind of drive to keep doing it, because in your mind, you're not hitting the goals that you want to hit. So 100%, I'm just going to keep doing this as long as I enjoy it and do it. And then if I fall out of love with it, I'll fall out of love with it. But it's not, like you say, it's not about making money. This for me, it's just purely about having a good time playing games and chatting to interesting people from around the world.
Exactly. I've said it yesterday, but there's going to be a day that I don't press that go live button anymore. And, you know, I'm going to look back at this time in my life, and in the moment it seems stressful, you know, or not stressful, but at times it can get overwhelming. And, and that's my own fault. I'm doing it to myself. It's not like anyone's put me in that position or anything, but you know, I always tell myself, hey, you're really having a good time. You're having a good time with your communities that you're getting into. You're going to look back on this, and just like you look back on your high school moments and the job you had back in the day where you met some cool people, you know, there's always going to be those times where like you reminisce on, and I definitely want my Twitch time to be one of those moments.
Yeah, this is I agree. It's 100% going to be something you look back on and you go, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Hopefully it's going to lead to friendships and relationships that I will keep for a lifetime or whatever. And hopefully it leads to that. But if and when this does come to an end for me, it will be, I can look back and go, I was proud of what I did. I had good content. I had a good chat with people. I created interesting things for people to watch and look at and enjoy and all that kind of stuff. As long as I can look back at it and go, did well with that. Well done. Well done me. And then that's all I really care about. It's nothing more than that for me.
That's awesome. So my final podcast question, and then we'll get into the chat. And I kind of have some personal questions I want to ask you about, some UK stuff.
I'm more than happy to answer
even career things. But if you were to step in my shoes, I've been asking everybody this. If you were to step in my shoes, what's a question that you would have asked?
A question you would have asked. I should have known this one was coming. Let me think. Probably would have asked like more about like my gaming history, like really delved into that kind of stuff. Because obviously we're assuming most of the people you're going to talk to are gaming streamers. So it would be like kind of what was the first game that you played, and like
That's
what was
interesting.
that
Yep.
first memory of you picking up a video game and all that kind of stuff. Because I think that people, it's always the same like music as well. It's like, what's your first album? It doesn't really say anything about you now, but it's always interesting to look back about what you
Very
used to
true.
play and all that kind of stuff.
No, that's a great
So yeah,
idea.
yeah, I'd probably do it down to that bit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I have like a list of questions, right? And I'm like, okay, well, this list of questions will get me through a certain amount of time. And I try and keep it around an hour. If it's below or if it's a little bit above, that's fine or whatever. But like, I know those group of questions, but there's some I can always add in and some that I could take out. So I love hearing people's takes on that. And that was a great question. I'll definitely be adding that one in.
well, I think also it's with interviews as well. Like you see it on like late night talk shows where they interview people. They'll ask a question, but the chat and the conversation will lead to extra questions that you can ask, and it would kind of snowball, and you go into these tangents, which I'm pretty good at doing. When I'm in a just chatting scene on my stream, especially like when I'm only meant to be doing it for like 10-15 minutes or so, and then I look at the clock and it's 45 minutes gone. Like I've been talking out of my arse for the past 45 minutes just because I started saying one thing, someone says something, and I'm like, yes, and that leads me now to this point. But that's the best part about these conversations. You can have like your set questions, but those questions really are there to unlock the door to different topics and stories and interesting things like that. So yeah, it's yeah, you're doing really well. Like all the questions you've asked today,
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. So don't worry.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm always trying to learn. This isn't something I'm just great at. You know, I just didn't start doing it and just start Babe Ruth and numbers, hitting them out of the park, you know. But I'm definitely trying to get better at it. And I'm super good at taking criticism. Like I do it. I've done it like in my career. You know, I've been working the same career for 10 years now. And you got to have criticism. You got to hear it. You know, sometimes you're not doing a good job. So it's never hurt my feelings.
I'm guessing then you're quite critical of yourself as well, because I mean I know I am.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned or alluded to that I'm quite a bit of a perfectionist and got OCD. So the amount of times that I've kind of gone back and watched my stream and like, that didn't look good, or that didn't sound right. That topic was a bit weird and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to constantly learn and criticize myself. I don't tend to get that much criticism from other people. Not saying that because they haven't got anything to criticize me on, but because they just generally people don't want to criticize someone when they've created something. But I'm absolutely happy. Like if anyone's got something to say about my stream and they're like, yeah, that wasn't great, you might want to like, if there's a game that I'm playing and people aren't enjoying it, let me know that you're not enjoying the game, because I'm more than happy to change it up.
Yeah,
there's plenty of games out there.
There's I think it was Ludwig who said this, but you know, I want my stream to be like a TV show, you know, where you tune in and you're enjoying it and you're liking this season and this episode and everything like that. But if it ever, you know, like with every show out there, even, you know, especially like all the Marvel stuff happening, you know, when something bad's going on or something that they don't like, they're very vocal on social media to be like, I don't like this, you know? So y'all can be the same with me at any point, you know? I'm always, you know, aware of that, hey, this may have not been a good idea.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% the same. I want people to tell me when I'm going wrong so I can learn and grow and create content that you will enjoy even more. I'm always looking to change things up and keep it fresh.
I am too. Like I said, I'm never trying to stay stagnant. So getting into chat, thank you guys for everyone tuning in. I'm gonna open it up to you guys now. Go through everyone that was here. Melissa, thank you for tuning in. Up and down, thank you for being here. I know that's from over there. Soap, as always, thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Sammy, HJ came in earlier with the big 5 gifted subs. Appreciate you so much, my friend. Yeah, some great people got some subs as well. And speaking of, Beerums was here.
Welcome, thank you. Beerums.
So good to have you here. But yeah, let me scroll through, see if I missed any questions or anything. And say, today was a low mental health day. That is very true for me, my man. Dwelt, what's been your favorite moment during stream, coming from Scrubbing Soap?
Ooh, favorite moments. was probably one of my clipped ones. It was during, yeah, basically I was playing Mario 64 from the like remastered 3D All Stars game,
Nice.
and I'd kind of got to the point where I was a little bit not bored of the game, but we'd kind of done a lot of the things, and there was a few levels that I just couldn't complete. So I went back to this one level, and I was talking to someone in the chat, and he was saying, "Oh, this one guy managed to do this whole thing in X amount of time," and I was like, "Well, the way I got this star was different to how he got it, and I feel like the way I did it, I could do it really quickly." Um, and initially he said it was like 10, 20 odd, 25 odd seconds to get the star. And I was like, well, I could definitely finish that. He ended up being wrong. He was like 8 seconds or something like that he got it, but it doesn't matter. So, because I was like, all right, you know what then? We're going to spend the rest, well, as long as it takes for me to get this star as quickly as possible and figure out the quickest route. Because I don't know if you played Mario 64 or not.
Love it. It
At
was
all.
one of my very first, or it was the first game I got. Well, I got two games. When I first got my 64, I got Banjo Kazooie and Mario 64.
Classic games. Classic games. But yeah, so we just started. I just started trying to figure out the best way for me to get up. There's the one with the like the Princess Tower, and there's like a cannon that you can fire yourself
Yep.
up. I don't know if you.
I do. Yeah, I do know that one. Yep.
And I was like, all right, so how can I get to the cannon the quickest possible, and then I need to find the angle to shoot myself straight into the basket to get the star inside the basket. So we spent I don't know how long, but I was very lucky that night, and I think I got about three pretty big raids from
Wow.
three
Nice.
amazing people. I think it was Foxy, Mike, and then also another amazing streamer called 30 Giraffes, who if you've not gone to check out,
Yep.
you really should. Really entertaining. They all raided me, and I was like, all right, guys, we're doing a speed run, so I'm going to focus. I'm not going to be that active in chat because I want to get this done as quickly as possible. So we just kept retrying, getting that little bit closer, not getting the angle on the cannon just right. And then there was this one run where I managed to climb up the tree, pop off it perfectly, like do the driving rolls and all that kind of stuff, and popping out, landed perfectly into the cannon, fired myself off, landed in the thing in about 20 seconds. Even though it was nowhere near the speedrun time, that was just an absolutely fantastic moment for me to be able to do that. To be able to say that I've kind of speedrun a level and get a star in 20 seconds for me was, considering I'm not very good at Mario, for me to be able to do that and then have people to share that with and people watch it and be like, oh, that was cool and all this kind of stuff was really, really a really good moment in my stream. I enjoyed that massively.
I'm not good at any game ever. You know, I
No,
like to say I'm like
I'm terrible.
bar average. Very like sometimes I dip down even. You know, or kids, my own kids can beat me. You know, but speedruns have always seemed so fun.
Yeah, when it comes to FPS, I'm terrible.
Oh man.
That's why I do not. I did used to stream because I've got a friend who plays Destiny 2, and I was like, well, if I'm going to play it with him, I'll stream it. He doesn't mind being on stream. But I was just like, this is not good content because I am just literally like this with a gun trying to shoot and not looking at all attractive doing it, and not looking good in terms of quality of content. So like, I'm just not going to bother playing FPSs. It's not people don't want to watch a bad player; they want to watch good players play these kind of games. So yeah, I limit myself to offline games mostly, other than stuff like Among Us. But the only game I'd say I'm good at is Skyrim. I'd like to say I think I'm pretty good at Skyrim at this point. And I've also had many great moments in Skyrim as well. So
I've seen some of them. It's super fun. I like how I like the cinematic camera when you kill somebody and everything. Like it's super cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's fantastic.
So I'm always curious about this. This is a question from me that I've always wondered. You killed Eric, right? Hello, Lemons. Oh goodness, what was I about to ask? Hold on. Streamer brain. We were just talking about
Mario.
What was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, I remember because people were hopping in. I don't know how I forgot that. Do you remember your first chatter that wasn't a friend or a family member? Like, I still remember my first chatter's name. I don't know if that's weird or not. They don't come around the stream. I think they hopped into maybe one or two, and I've never seen them again. But like, do you remember that first person that engaged with you?
I think the first one I can remember them coming in, be like, "Oh, I don't know this person. I've no idea who this is." It would have been when I was streaming Hollow Knight, which again I was bad at because that is a hard game, and I
It is
literally
hard.
stopped playing about less than halfway through because like I just can't play this. I've now hit the ceiling of my ability. I cannot keep playing this. So there's a guy called Curry Penguin, and I don't know if it's the actual first person, but it's the one I when you mentioned it, I just remember him coming in and just he helped me. Like he did some backseat game, but I was fine with it because I was like, I have no idea how to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember coming in and like, oh my god, I don't know this guy, and he's here and he's followed as well, and he doesn't come along to my streams that often, but he's still active in my Discord. And when I see him pop up, like, oh, Curry's he's still here, he's still around. And I know he does occasionally pop into my streams, which is always really fun to see him.
No,
Yeah, whenever I get that, especially in the early days when I get like those people come in, like when Petrified came into my stream during Little Nightmares, I was like, oh my god, new person again. And you do lose that because you're now used to new people coming in and all this
yeah,
kind of stuff. When you
exactly.
do, it still gives me a bit of a kick when someone comes in, like when you came in. I think you came in during a Skyrim stream, didn't
Mm-hmm.
you?
Yep.
Yeah, when
No,
you
no,
came
no,
in, I
no,
was
no,
like,
nope. Fallout. It was a Fallout stream.
was it Fallout?
It
It's
was Fallout.
one of those, yeah. And I remember you like your name. I was like, oh, Sartonius, I love it. And I remember you coming in. I was like, oh, and he's followed. And then you started to drop in a few other streams, and it was always when you get that ability, or not the ability, when you get that person coming back, and it just kind of gives you that I'm doing something right here. This person is enjoying seeing what I do and all this kind of stuff, and it gives you that nice little bit of I don't need to be so stressed about this. People are enjoying it because you do get self-critical, like, am I good enough? Am I too boring?
Mm-hmm.
Is my voice not nice to listen to? And all this kind of stuff. Which I've always thought I didn't have a nice voice. I didn't
I
know
hate
why I
my
decided
voice
to stream. I
personally.
thought my voice was terrible. I hated my voice. I've kind of gotten used to it now because I listen back to it a lot.
Yeah,
So I don't
exactly.
hate it as much. But I definitely, same as you, like you'd hear your voice and go, why on earth is anyone listening to me talk? I've got such a boring voice and it's not pleasant, but when you get people coming in and listen and say, "Oh, I just listened to you," and always kind of feel like, "Oh, that's nice. I feel the love," which is always good.
Yeah. So, one question I'm wanting to know, just because I've
Mm.
seen pictures of them, it's a UK thing. I don't understand it. But you work in a
Okay.
pub, so maybe you can explain it to me. What is a Weatherspoon?
Oh, Weatherspoons. Okay, it's just a chain of pubs in the UK, and they're just known for being cheap. The alcohol is always very cheap there, but in each Weatherspoons, the carpet is always unique. Like no single
Really?
Weatherspoons have the same carpet. So
That's so
they're
interesting.
all. So if you like look it up like Weatherspoons carpets, you'll see they're kind of all like interesting designs. But there are people who will go, I'm going to like loads of people go, I'm going to go to every Weatherspoons and take a picture of the carpet. And like, oh, this one's different. Oh, you've seen the one they've got in like Glasgow and seen the one they got down in London, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, they're known for just being cheap places to go drink. They're open up from like 10 o'clock in the morning for people to have breakfast there. They serve breakfast and then they open all the way through till
That's so
whatever time at
crazy.
night, depending on the town or city.
And
But
they look like these grand buildings. Like they don't look
that
new. They look like
this
they've
is
been
the
there
thing.
for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of the Weatherspoons, because they're so big, they're able to kind of get these buildings to hire out. And you do walk into it and go, well, this is a Weatherspoons. Really? This is a Weatherspoons? Like some of them you go to, like, they are basic pubs and all this kind of stuff. Then you go into a city and some of them are like, what? This is an old church and I'm in a Weatherspoons.
Those are the
Because
pictures that I've
they are
seen.
known as being cheap.
Yeah, the pictures that
Um,
I've been seeing of Weatherspoon are just like all these drunk people kind of like piling out of one. You just see them like just on the.
yeah,
It's super
you'll see
funny.
like the
So
memes. Yeah, you'll see like there's loads of memes when we were reopening from lockdown, and the like people would go mad about like just showing pictures of. Oh no, there was like a video of like it only took 1 hour for the police to be called to a Weatherspoons in Brighton or whatever it was, because there's this kind of ongoing joke that people get hammered at Weatherspoons, and then the kind of because it's cheap, the clientele they sometimes attract aren't the best. So when they get drunk, they can get a little bit violent. So the police are always called to a Weatherspoons.
that sounds like a good
But yeah,
Saturday night.
some of the memes are fantastic.
So, here's a little bit more of a personal question. Maybe, I told you I'd probably be asking you,
Yeah, I'm more than happy to answer.
but I'm out here trying to get these gains. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, there's no gains happening, but I'm trying. Um,
Yeah.
My diet has increased or gotten better, I should say. I've
Mm,
started taking mass gainer that you say I should back off of. So
yeah.
let's kind of talk about what I should be doing right now to be trying to get these gains, Mr. Personal Trainer.
Mr. President. Well, I guess like we've spoken obviously previously. I think it was I don't know if it was on stream or in chat. I can't in Discord messages. But I know we've obviously spoken about what you need to do, and like I say, the mass gainer, all those kind of things are just marketing ploys. Realistically, a big bag. Like I've spoken to trainers who one of the trainers at my gym has won like competitions for being just a big ass mother trucker, and he can just he benched. I think the other day he benched was it 175 kilos,
Oh,
which
okay,
I don't know
okay,
what that'd
okay.
be for
I
pounds, but
always
that's
forget.
heavy.
I always forget. It's
Was it like
yeah,
two? I think it's 2.2 for
yeah.
pounds is
Times 2.2.
2.2. So yeah, what however much that is. So
I'm not good
350
at
odd
quick math.
pounds or something like that. 350 pounds that is, I think. So yeah, and I spoke to him about it. He said he's never taken anything like that. He gets a 5 kilogram bag of protein powder, works with that, and buys a new one. He obviously has stuff like creatine and pre-workout and other additional stuff. But in terms of getting protein into your body, the best thing to do is just have a bag of protein powder, 2 scoops of that. I know you'll say one, but I have 2 scoops a day and all this kind of stuff. So that's what I'd recommend to start with.
So,
And then in terms of actual training, it depends what you do. Are you able to go to the gym at the moment? So
um,
you,
I can hopefully find time for the gym after the summer. Um,
mm,
a lot of kids running around. As of right now, there's not, so I am working out more, but I haven't been going to the gym. I wake up at 5 a.m. I used to wake up
yeah,
at 5:45, so now I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and that's when I like get up, do I do like a 10 to 15 minute stretch kind of workout deal. It's a lot of just like moving and getting everything kind of going in the morning, and
yeah.
then I everything's been different. So one day it'll be legs, but it's more
Mm.
resistant bands and calisthenic workouts and stuff like that. Nothing with weights yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's so that's you are able to build muscle with that. Obviously it takes longer. So being able to
Mm-hmm.
go to the gym and me being able to work with how much I want to work with effectively does change that. But I will be able to put together a workout program for you so that you can wake up every day and know if you've got like 45 minutes to an hour to get some training in, then you can work your way through this list and it will slowly but steadily start building up your muscle. As long as you're
Okay.
getting in the calories to turn that stuff into muscle, the more you keep eating, the more you keep training, it'll eventually turn there. It just takes a while. I mean, it's taken a while for me to actually get big. I mean, you can see I'm not big. I'm a personal trainer, but I'm not a big one because I've always been really skinny. So I've had, and that's just because through my work and just naturally, I don't eat a lot. So I have to force myself to eat as much as possible. So yeah, it's just a lot that I've got to do, and eat a lot.
Yes, you do
What's that?
see Mikasa in the background. That is who that is. Yeah, so to give you a little backstory about me, I do have Crohn's disease.
Oh, okay.
So it's a stomach thing. Basically,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
all the time, but it creates ulcers in the stomach. So
Mm,
the food I take in, the calories and proteins, kind of get lost in the bloodstream because of the ulcers, and not everything gets taken in. So that's why I started taking in more. So that's what the main reason is why I was taking mass gainer is because my body doesn't really take in all the calories from eating. So that's it was 1,300 calories per shake or whatever
yeah.
for mass gainer. So, but I do get what you're saying. It was probably too much protein overload. I really wasn't needing all that protein. But is there something I could supplement for calories? Because it's really hard to get all the calories I need in a meal.
Um, it is hard to get your calories up when, I mean, I don't know about you, but my appetite isn't massive. So for me to get all
Yeah,
my
it's hard.
calories up, this is why I've kind of got to the stage now where I try and eat a decent sized meal 3 or 4 times a day, maybe even 5 times a day, which I think I mentioned to you as well.
Hmm.
Because I can't sit down and have a massive plate of food and eat that. I sometimes struggle with having four eggs scrambled on 2 slices of toast. I'll struggle to eat all that, which is
Yeah,
That's
I'm the
just the
same
way I
way.
am.
There are times I can just destroy something. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
my everyday I'm very much the same. Like I can snack periodically throughout the day and have little small things, you know. But and maybe
yeah,
that I need to meal prep a little bit better and have those things that I can go to in those moments.
yeah. Well, that's what I do now. It's just I see you going back to snacking. So that's what I basically look at when I have my meals out. It's just a snack.
Hmm.
It's a much obviously it's much larger than a snack, but it's substantial, high quality food with the right amount of protein, the right amount of fibrous carbohydrates, the right amount of carbs to keep my energy levels up, especially with how much I'm training at the moment and working as well. So it's just about being able to find, because you don't want to have the same thing. Like obviously the best thing to have would be like chicken, rice, and broccoli and carrots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be great to be able to have that 4 times a day. Nice,
Hmm.
decent sized plate of food. But
And I love
that's
all
going to
those
get very quick.
things.
Yeah, I do. I love them all. I've got some chicken and rice to have after we finish up here. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. Um, but obviously you can't have that all the time. Like I used to have porridge every single day and with fruits in it. But eventually I just got bored of having that. So now I've
All
had
the
to add in like
difference.
scrambled eggs.
I
Porridge
haven't.
oatmeal.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
if you
have
don't
not
know.
had porridge. Well, I've not heard porridge since like a nursery rhyme when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
hear oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal, yeah. I forget that
Oh, I
it is
started.
different. I wasn't
Sorry, I didn't
sorry?
mean to cut you off. I started putting oatmeal in my shakes, so that's something I started
Yes.
doing to try and get more in me and fill me up a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely, yeah. Add whatever you want to your shakes to keep it interesting and just to up your calories. I mean, I've now got to the point where I can just have my shake by itself. I have one straight after our train, and then if I've got time in the day when I've like had a few hours to be absorbed into the body, have another shake, maybe 2 hours or so before I go to bed. Just so I've still got those calories and that protein in my body for my muscles to work with and to repair themselves with.
Nice.
Um, yeah, like I say, it's a very long process for people
It
who are
is.
skinny. Like, so you got
Yeah.
Crohn's disease, which I'm at risk of getting Crohn's disease because I've got. I don't know if you remember, I did a post recently in my Discord, like asking about what I'm allergic to. My list of allergies is mammoth, and I'm really bad at keeping to it. Which, when you do that, obviously it can affect your stomach
Yep.
and maybe one day get Crohn's, which I don't want because, as you know, it's not the nicest
It's not.
of things to have, from what I've heard. Um, so yeah, it's as much as people go, "Oh, I'd love to be skinny." It's if you want to get big when you're skinny, it's
It's
super
so
difficult.
hard. You know, my buddy Brad, he's a bigger guy and he's always been a bigger guy and I've always kind of been a smaller guy. You know, what's crazy is I weighed more in high school. Like before I got sick and everything, I usually walked around at 180, 185 or something like that. But I
Yeah.
wrestled, so I would drop, I would drop weight during wrestling season and stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think for like the past 3 years, like I didn't even check my weight because like I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be between these 5 pounds. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
recently, I've been able to hit that mark where since I've started doing everything, I haven't checked. I've been checking every Monday, so I haven't checked since Monday. But I am up 8 pounds since the beginning of working out and doing everything and switching my diet up. So something's working. I just
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel better. I do feel stronger. I am taking creatine as well. I'm trying to do any supplement I can, taking my vitamins.
Mm.
But it's hard. It does get hard. It's a slow gain. It's slow.
It's a real long grind to go from skinny to big. Whereas, not obviously if you're like crazy overweight, it's different. But if you're just a big guy and you've got a gut and you've already got this mass. So for you to take that mass and turn it into muscle, it's actually so much easier. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're strict with your diet and all this kind of stuff and strict with your training, that will turn into muscle real quick. Like it won't be like defined or that kind of stuff because that requires. And when you see people do calisthenics, they've got all
Yeah.
their muscles. So that requires a really strict diet. But if you just want to get like define that muscle a little bit, be a bit stronger, slimmer, it's so much easier. But when you're skinny and you've grown up and you're 25 years into your life and you've known not to eat that much, it takes a lot for you to in your mind go from I need to eat all this to not. Especially when I used to do loads of running and loads of
Mm-hmm.
um, like high intensity work, like sports and all this kind of stuff. So I'd be burning calories constantly, and I
Yep.
was never ever taking in enough.
See,
I
that's
was
me
never
at
taking.
work. I have a very active job, so I'm basically a farmer.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just constant running around, carrying things, digging stuff, working with my hands. So I'm burning so many calories a day. And then sometimes I'm in a suit because I spray stuff,
Yeah.
like for bugs, and you don't want, you got to get your pesticides out there and everything. So like sometimes
Mm.
I'm in a full suit, like Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. That's how I basically look, And so, bro, I'd come out of that and I feel like I've lost 20 pounds. So it's hard sometimes to make sure that I'm keeping everything on.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying like when I got in from work today, it's we are getting into summer in the UK and it is warm at the moment. But I finished at the pub, like I say, pretty much bang on 11:15ish, and then it's been warm, so I've been sweating. Come home, obviously going to eat later, but yeah, I hadn't eaten since like maybe 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, that's
So
like
I know for
you're
a
like
fact,
fasting
yeah,
at
I've not
this point.
eaten enough. Yeah, I've basically not. I've had one. I think I've had like maybe 1 or 2 meals today just because I've been so busy, which happens too much at the moment. I'm
Hmm.
trying to find a way for me to get my meals back in because I'm not. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start losing the weight and losing the muscle mass, which I
Yeah.
don't want to do.
Yeah, I definitely
So,
know that feeling.
yeah, it's difficult.
So before we wrap things up, there are a couple things. Let's plug your social medias one more time. Where can everybody find you? Your Twitch, your Twitter. Where are you
Yeah.
at?
So yeah, I'm on Twitch, obviously, at DweltCoffee, spelt as it is in the on the screen. I say I'm a variety streamer at the moment, streaming Skyrim, Stardew Valley, Spiritfarer. Going to start streaming Ark with people in my Discord,
I'm gonna join.
which I'm really excited for that. Really
I
excited
tried
to get in.
before and I was awful at it, but I didn't. I was just me by myself in a server. So I think if I had other people, it'd make it a lot fun, a lot more fun.
Yeah, I think I had one of my mods watching me yesterday, and he was kind of guiding me through what I needed to do, and I would have been lost. It is. I mean, it's just one of those games where you think, like, you realize this is so intuitive, like in just terms of how
Yep.
realistic it is. So when you do certain things, that's what would happen. Even with like something like Stardew, when I was playing that and it rained, I was like, oh, that means all my crops are watered. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I didn't think that would do that, but yeah, it's definitely a game that you need to, if you're not, when you look what kind of probably like our level of gaming, which isn't great, having that extra person who knows exactly what they're doing because they played it and they could pick it up and go, oh yeah, this is how you do it. It helps massively. So I'm excited to get playing that in stream, and then also obviously playing Mario. And I do a few co-streams with a few people in my community where we play like Mario Kart. We're going to play Mario Party at some point. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and
I love
then
that.
Twitter at DweltCoffee again. I try and keep interesting things on there. It's not just me plugging my Twitch and all that kind of stuff. I try to give you guys extra content for
You heard it here
whilst you're
first, guys. You just
out
called me
out
out.
and about, and yeah. And then my Instagram is Shatford.energy, which is my surname, and then that's mainly my workout stuff. So if you want to go over there, and I like to try and give people ideas for exercises, for training programs, all that kind of stuff. And I'm more than happy to do training programs for anyone. So if anyone out there is looking for a training program and aren't sure where to start, I'm more than happy to take a call or a message anytime.
Awesome. I know. I appreciate that and appreciate any
And it's the same,
helpful
and it's
tips
the
you've
same with
given
my
me.
graphic design as well, which I mentioned earlier. If
Yeah.
anyone wants any graphics, they're not going to be world class or anything like that. But if you're starting streaming, or if you've been streaming for a while and haven't got graphics that you're happy with, and you want someone to help you or to make something for you, I won't charge for it. So just message me with what you want, the kind of stuff that you're into, what your stream is all about, and then I'll create something for you
That's awesome.
for
That's awesome.
so yeah,
Genuine people. That's what it's all about. It's what it's all
exactly.
about.
Yeah.
So I've been asking everybody, because you'll have a good idea on, because you have a whole different, people that I'll never see. Who's a
Yeah.
streamer that you would like to see on A Dash of Salt?
I think a great one for you to possibly reach out to that I know would be probably Petrified Tree Sap.
Okay.
She's got a lot to, she's a very, very entertaining and interesting person. The only issue might be that she's China based.
Yeah.
So that might make it harder. So if not that one, um, then probably someone like DJ Astro Creep,
Okay. Yep. He's
who's
on my.
a fellow UK streamer who's one of my mods. He's what, I don't know how old he is. I think he's in his 40s or something like that.
I think
But
something like that.
he sounds like he's had a lot of
Oh,
life experiences. He's got a very cute dog.
being an actual
Yeah.
DJ as well. That's not just in the name. Like that's
Yes, he's an actual DJ. If you ever get a chance to watch his streams, he is really interesting to just listen to and all that kind of stuff. So would 100% like to see him or Petrified Tree Sap in your interviews.
nice. So, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Most importantly, I'd like to thank Dwelt for tuning in today and stopping by and having this long conversation with me. Even like I could not stay up this late, man. So I really appreciate you doing this and
No,
stopping by.
I was really excited to do it. I was so
Awesome.
excited when you first mentioned it and you said like you would have me on. I was like, well, I need to find time to do this then. So I'd love to do this kind of thing. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you to everyone in the chat for dropping on by and all that kind of stuff. It's been really, really fun.
But thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Dash of Salt. Please, if you're not, follow DweltCoffee. Amazing streamer. His streams are super cool. Everyone's super cool there and genuine. And I just love that I'm able to, bring people on that people have never even heard of or wouldn't even think to watch or anything like that. That was my whole idea of this. So it's really cool to be able to do this. So I hope you gain some amazing people through this.
Oh no, it'd be nice too. And then obviously anyone from my community that hasn't already followed, hopefully they'll still find you, because I say you're fantastic as well.
Well,
You're great fun to watch.
But thank you guys. Our next guest hopefully will be on by next week. I'm not going to do any spoils, no spoils. Everyone will just have to tune in. I spoiled it yesterday because I knew we were doing it today, but I was going to leave it a surprise. But just follow the Twitter and you'll be seeing something soon.
Keep an eye on his Twitter.
Well, have a great night, Dwelt. Eat some food, have some rest, and I'm sure I'll be stopping in by your next stream.
Yeah, it'll be great to see you and speak to you as always.
All right. See you, my man, and see everybody in chat. We'll be heading out and tune in for more.